Winning hospitality and authentic experience make even the furthest journey as effortless as a single step.
Good morning, America. Attack on YouTube.
Active shooter at 901 Cherry.
The shooter, a woman, opened fire on employees, injuring at least 3 before turning the gun on herself. Well, we're now learning about her past, her vendetta against YouTube, and the warning her family says they gave police just hours before she opened fire.
At least 8 reported tornadoes tear through the heartland. Winds hitting 60 miles per hour, collapsing this airport hangar onto planes in Houston, and power lines smashing cars. Heavy rain washing away roads in the Midwest. Now that storm heading east. 18 states on alert this morning.
Breaking news in the Russia investigation, new reports on the special counsel's plans. What has he told the president's team?
And the shot you have to see to believe. One of the best soccer players in the world, Cristiano Ronaldo, pulling off this incredible bicycle kick. The stadium stunned, on their feet. What he said right after pulling it off.
Live in Times Square, this is GMA with Robin Roberts, George Stephanopoulos, and Michael Strahan.
And good morning, America. Welcome back to Michael.
Thank you, George.
It's good to see you. It is a very special day, also a somber one. 50 years ago today, Martin Luther King was assassinated.
And take a look at Dr. King's memorial in Washington, D.C. That's this morning. Events are taking place all around the country to celebrate his life. And we're going to have a chance to speak with his family. That's coming up just ahead.
He would be 89 years old. His granddaughter's going to be speaking, and she has a powerful voice just like her grandfather. But first, we do begin with those breaking details about the shooting at YouTube's headquarters. Here's what we know this morning. Police have identified the suspect as Nasim Agdam, a woman who lived in California and frequently used YouTube.
Her family says she was angry at the company. She killed herself after opening fire on 3 employees, one of them now in critical condition. ABC senior national correspondent Matt Gutman is at YouTube headquarters with the latest. Good morning, Matt.
Hey, good morning, George. You can imagine those terrified employees here at YouTube just pouring down that staircase behind me, seeking shelter in the restaurants just across the street. Now, you mentioned this is a fast-moving investigation, but overnight we learned that 39-year-old drove up here from Southern California, Nasim Agdam, bearing a vendetta against YouTube and that 9mm gun. Now, incredibly, her parents had listed her as missing, and the night before the shooting, officers in nearby Mountain View, California, found her sleeping in her car. They alerted her family. Now, their family says that they tried to alert authorities about her, but by then it was too late. Law enforcement officials say this is the woman, 38-year-old Nasim Agdam, who stormed into an employee patio at YouTube headquarters in San Bruno, California, shooting 3 employees before turning the gun on herself.
It was one after another, boom, 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 boom.
Her family says the prolific YouTube user,
"My name is Nasim Sabs,"
hated the company, claiming it was censoring her content and not paying her for the videos she posted on the platform.
I'm being discriminated and filtered on YouTube.
She had a YouTube channel which boasted ab workout videos, and many of them in Farsi. Her brother says her family reported her missing over the weekend and claims they told police about her deep-seated resentment towards YouTube.
And she had a problem with YouTube, so we called that cop again and told him that there's a reason she went all the way from San Diego to that.
Active shooter at 901 Cherry.
The first call for help came in at 12:46 local time.
This is crazy. We're on lockdown.
2 minutes later, first responders arrived. This officer bursting out of his vehicle with that long gun, a YouTube employee right there on the staircase using his key to let the officer into the complex.
It was very chaotic, as you can imagine.
Police moving forward, finding hundreds of YouTube employees, their hands raised, searching each of them. The wounded scrambling out of the YouTube complex, some of them still bleeding.
Inside the Carl's Jr. in San Bruno, medical aid.
Good Samaritans stanching the wounds with napkins from nearby restaurants.
We really didn't. We just kind of acted out of instinct and tried to do what we can to help, just kind of stop the bleeding and wait for paramedics to come and, just try to do what anybody else would do.
YouTube CEO issuing a statement on Twitter writing, "There are no words to describe how horrible it was to have an active shooter at YouTube today. Our deepest gratitude to law enforcement and first responders for their rapid response.
Today, it feels like the entire community of YouTube and all of the employees were victims of this crime.
And George, 3 of Nasim Agdam's victims remain in the hospital, 2 of them in serious to critical condition. Now, immediately after this shooting, it triggered a rash of conspiracy theories and hoaxes, rumors online. And what's unusual about this event is that social media companies jumped on it immediately, quashing them. Twitter actually deleting certain posts, actually writing us that it takes this approach during situations where misnaming someone online could put those individuals in harm's way. So it says it had to act. George.
Yeah, unfortunately, they've had to learn how to act. Okay, Matt, thanks very much. Paula?
Thanks, George. And joining us now is San Bruno Police Chief Ed Barberini. Good to have you on the show this morning. First and foremost, the alleged shooter had recently railed against YouTube. Her brother and her father said she hated the company. What are you learning about a motive this morning?
Well, obviously, we know that we're learning that Ms. Agdam had a problem with the policies or practices that YouTube had employed. That was her opinion. So we do understand that point. We don't know exactly or specifically what those concerns were, and we have investigators now who are taking numerous steps to kind of finalize that and pinpoint exactly what her concerns were, so we can clearly identify the motive. We have a pretty good idea, but we'd like to gain some more information before we can definitively say exactly what that motive was. But obviously, she was upset with some of the practices or policies that the company had employed.
Now, Chief, both her father and her brother had reported her missing. Both reportedly told authorities that she might be going to YouTube. They clearly saw this coming. Was YouTube ever warned?
We know that she was reported missing by her family in San Diego on the 31st of March, and that she was located in a community about 30 miles south of us early Tuesday morning. I don't know what concerns were conveyed to that police department or how or where those concerns were relayed to. So that's something we're obviously looking into.
Is it a big misstep if YouTube was not warned?
I think it's premature to jump to those conclusions. We don't know exactly how communication was relayed to the local police department down there, and if so, how it was transferred to wherever it needed to be transferred. We just don't know those answers yet. It's about 4 a.m. locally here, so we're still trying to dig those up.
And what do we know about the gun and whether it was legally obtained?
There's nothing to suggest that it was not legally obtained. So at this point, we don't have any information of whether it was obtained in a manner that was outside the law. We just don't have that information. But there's nothing to suggest that it wasn't.
Rifle, handgun, semi-automatic. What can you tell us?
It was a semi-automatic handgun, a pistol.
Okay, and it took authorities just 2 minutes to arrive on the scene, Chief. How vital was that?
Well, I can't emphasize how critical it is in reacting to instances like these, typical or active shooter situations that we're continuing to see. It's critical that we arrive in a timely manner, and then once we're here, that we act swiftly and effectively. And I could not be more proud of the handful of San Bruno police officers that arrived within 2 minutes. Not only the timeliness of their arrival, but the way they acted when they did arrive. As folks were fleeing from the scene, there were officers running directly towards where they believed the threat to be in order to identify that threat, putting themselves in harm's way, which is our job. However, it's sometimes easier said than done, and they did. It was a chaotic scene, but their first priority was to enter the building, identify the threat, and do what they could to remedy that. And I think the timeliness of the response in this case and their actions probably limited the opportunity of our suspect in this case to even inflict more damage.
Yes, it could have been so much worse. Chief Barberini, we thank you so much for joining us this morning, George.
Thank you, Paula. We have more breaking news overnight. Just hours ago, China announced that it was imposing $50 billion in tariffs on American exports like soybeans, tobacco, airplanes. Retaliation for the $50 billion in tariffs that President Trump announced yesterday, already seeing a big reaction in financial markets. Want to bring in our chief business correspondent, Rebecca Jarvis. Good morning, Rebecca.
Good morning, George. And this is the exact exact same kind of tit-for-tat retaliation that we had feared about with the announcement of these new tariffs. You've got 106 new tariffs announced overnight by China on everything from soybeans to cars to airplanes to orange juice. And there are major impacts potentially out there for the U.S. consumers. So, for example, jobs. U.S. companies like General Motors, Ford, and Boeing, if these tariffs take effect, see their products hit with higher tariffs. That means U.S. jobs down the line, because these are companies that sell a lot of goods to China. Farmers here in the United States could be hit especially hard, especially on soybeans. About a third of the U.S. soybean crop currently goes to China. Those tariffs all of a sudden can put weight on demand. That has an impact on those farm jobs. And finally, prices. When you see tariffs, you should always think prices are going up, and not just in the place that's getting the new tariffs, but around the world. This really can have an impact on both U.S. consumers as well as Chinese consumers, and we've already seen it have an impact on stocks that have sold off on the fears of what might be a trade war.
That's the fear. The question is if. Both sides have announced these tariffs, will they actually happen?
And the chances of that are probably relatively small, and that's because already China has already filed a dispute with the WTO. That'll be a negotiation down the road. Both sides are very likely at the table now negotiating, because these have yet to take effect and won't for many weeks or even months.
Okay, Rebecca, thanks very much. Let's get more on this now from our chief White House correspondent, John Karl. And John, this was one of 3 announcements from the president yesterday, all echoing the nationalist themes of his campaign. Also said he wants to send troops down to secure the border with Mexico.
And that was a proposal, George, that the president just kind of came out with during a meeting with the Baltic leaders who were here at the White House yesterday. It caught his own top advisors by surprise. It caught the military by surprise. His suggestion that he would send the military down to the Mexican border to help secure the border. George, I am told that this is something that was discussed in kind of theoretical form a week ago, when the president was told he does have the authority to activate the National Guard. But as you know, it's a limited authority. The National Guard cannot apprehend people at the border.
At the same time, at those same meetings, the president also said he really wants to bring troops home from Syria soon. That's at odds with administration policy.
It is at odds with administration policy. It is quite consistent with what he said during the campaign. You know, he always talked about America first, and he even floated the idea of bringing troops home from South Korea. But at the very time the president was saying that, there were top U.S. officials, defense officials, and State Department officials in Washington at another event saying that the U.S. remained committed to Syria, including military commitment to Syria.
Okay, John Karl, thanks very much. Paula?
Thanks, George. And now to new developments in the Russia investigation. There is a new report in the Washington Post that the special counsel has told President Trump's lawyers that he remains under investigation, but he is not a criminal target at this point. Our Chief Justice correspondent, Pierre Thomas, has the very latest on all of this from Washington. Pierre, good morning to you.
Paula, good morning. The Post is reporting that the president's attorneys have been told by the special counsel that he's under investigation but not yet a criminal target, which typically means investigators have concluded there's firm evidence that a suspect has committed a crime. So the president now faces a complicated situation and must decide whether he will submit to an interview with special counsel Bob Mueller. He's still under investigation, and that interview could possibly put Mr. Trump in jeopardy if the president's testimony does not line up with the facts of Mr. Mueller's probe. And remember, the special counsel has already gotten 5 guilty pleas in connection with false statements made to investigators. So, Paula, the president has a big decision to make.
He certainly does, and I know his aides are concerned that Mueller's trying to bait him to do this interview. But, Pierre, we have our first sentencing in the Mueller investigation. What can you tell us about the Dutch lawyer Alex van der Zwaan, who pleaded guilty to lying to the special counsel's team?
That's right. Alexander van der Zwaan is going to pay a $20,000 fine and spend a month in prison for lying to investigators and destroying emails in connection with contacts he had with former Trump campaign officials Paul Manafort and Rick Gates. Another sign that Mr. Mueller takes any false statements extremely seriously, Paula.
Certainly does. To be continued, Pierre. Thanks for your reporting. Michael.
All right, thank you, Paula. Now to that severe weather with 18 states in its path. The calendar says April, but winter weather warnings are in place across the Midwest, and tornadoes are tearing through the heartland. ABC's Alex Perez is in Louisville, Kentucky with the very latest. Good morning, Alex.
Hey, good morning, Michael. This was a fast-moving storm. Take a look. You can see just how powerful it was, completely ripping this structure to pieces. Now, just a pile of wood.
Overnight, severe weather striking the heartland. 60-mile-per-hour winds in Houston, Texas, blowing over this hangar. The system spinning up at least 8 reported tornadoes. In Xenia, Ohio, roofs torn off of homes.
I don't know how we're going to get in here to move the rest of our stuff out.
Just 10 miles away, this building decimated.
What's going on there?
We're stuck in this water out here on this road in Loveland.
In nearby Loveland, fast-moving floodwaters is stranding drivers. And in Grove City, it was a race against time for first responders as strong winds downed these live power lines, leaving a teen trapped in his car for hours.
I knew that if I got out that car, there's a pretty high chance if I touched something, I wasn't going to end out too well.
The heavy downpour in Indiana ripping apart and washing away this road. The entire region battling scenes of major flooding, damaging winds, and large hail.
And this storm is not done just yet, now zeroing in on parts of the East Coast where it's expected to create some problems there today as well. Michael?
All right, thank you so much, Alex. And we're going to turn now to the celebration of Dr. Martin Luther King's life, Jr.'s life. This morning marks the 50th anniversary of his assassination when he was shot on the balcony of the Lorraine Motel in Memphis, Tennessee in 1968. Americans across the country are participating in events to celebrate his legacy. One of them is taking place at King's gravesite in Atlanta. ABC's Steve Wilson-Sami is there this morning. Good morning, Steve.
Good morning to you, Michael. From the King Center, right in front of Dr. King's gravesite where he and his wife are buried. There are a number of events today here in Atlanta and in Memphis, all marking the half a century since this civil rights hero was assassinated. Last night in Memphis at the Mason Temple, King's children spoke from the same pulpit where he delivered that I've been to the mountaintop sermon. It's hard to overstate how much of a towering American figure Dr. King was, and important to underline that at the height of his nonviolent work, he was not the beloved American that he is today in many corners. This evening, his children, surviving children, plan to ring a bell 39 times just after 7 o'clock tonight, exactly where I'm standing. King was 39 years old when he was assassinated at the Lorraine Motel in Memphis. This will be the first time here in Atlanta that we've seen his 3 surviving children together publicly in some time. It is an emotional day for the 3 of them. There will be tributes and marches from coast to coast, and we are expecting thousands of people here. Michael?
All right, thank you so much, Steve. And as you said, very emotional for everyone, especially the family on its 50th anniversary.
So few Americans had the impact of Martin Luther King Jr.
Absolutely.
Probably never see that again.
Want to go back to Rob?
It's April 4th. We're not only talking about severe weather, but snow. Minneapolis seeing 9 inches of snow. That's the most amount of snow they've seen in April since 1984. Over 400 accidents across the states and 32 people injured. And we've got more snow on the way. Strong winds behind the system that's moving through the Northeast today. Another pulse of potentially snow across the Great Lakes and Northeast on Friday. Very strong progressive jet stream here. And by the time Saturday rolls around, it should be cold enough again to potentially see some white on the weather map. Includes D.C. up the I-95 corridor in through New York and Boston. That's a long ways out, but certainly stands a chance for seeing some chilly weather and certainly some snow. Speaking of chilly weather, it's time for your Chilly Cities now, brought to you by CarMax.
That was invigorating. You're probably wondering why I just carved a giant wooden tiger. Well, the answer is that a real one would maul me. I've crafted Dr. Whiskers here as a visual aid to show you that should you visit the lot, CarMax associates will not pounce like tigers because people don't like that. Come here to buy a car, Dr. Whiskers won't pounce. Nobody will.
Falling temperatures and winds that could gust anywhere from 40 to upwards 50 miles per hour today. We are expecting some wild weather, even some moderate to heavy rain coming with this powerful front here through the morning rush, maybe even through about noontime today. Our temperature starting out in the lower 60s. We'll drop it to 56 to 57 degrees by the early afternoon. Wind advisory continues throughout the area throughout the day today everywhere. Those gusts maybe around 30 miles per hour late in the day and still breezy for opening day.
We're going to keep showing these pictures until spring arrives. There are the cherry blossoms in Washington, D.C. Peak bloom expected to be this weekend. The festival well in hand right now with the parade a week from Saturday. But, as we mentioned, there may be some wet snow falling on those blossoms.
Right, so those are real pictures now, though.
Those are real pictures right now. They could be different this weekend, George.
The crazy thing is, we know it's not your fault with the weather, but since you deliver it, it just makes us kind of
it's part
a little uneasy with you right now.
Oh, thank you for saying. Very diplomatic of you.
We will blame the messenger.
We'll
try not to.
We take the heat.
Thank you, Rob. Coming up, the latest on that shooting at YouTube headquarters and the woman behind it. The rants discovered online her encounter with police the night before the shooting.
And what we're now learning about that aspiring pastor accused of killing his wife and blaming it on cold medicine.
We are the TV doctors of America, and we may not know much about medicine.